Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Aquatic Oasis. My name is Ross, and today we are actually going to visit a coral shop up in Meridian, Idaho, which is just right outside of the Boise area. And we are meeting up with Josh Cook at his shop, Corals4Cheap. He's going to show us around and give us a little intel on how he likes to run things and what exactly he has available.
All right.
Sir, the sign says closed.
Oh my gosh.
This is after business hours, but for you guys, come on in.
So we're at Corals4Cheap with Josh Cook here in Meridian, Idaho.
Hello, folks.
And he's gracious enough to just kind of see his store and show us what he has. And look at this place. You would expect it to be a lot smaller than it is, and you walk in here and it's got this nice spacious area. You can like have a dance room going on right here in the center of your fish store. All right, so Josh, what kind of things do you want to show us today?
This is it. We got coral tanks, fish tanks.
It looks like, and I was looking at like, you got your rock over here.
Yep.
Okay, so being a coral shop here in the like Boise area, Meridian, obviously your clientele and customer base is going to be a little bit different than the online purchaser, because it seems like, at least in Pocatello, the high-end SPS isn't as high of a demand as it would be like online if you're going to like Jason Fox or Worldwide Corals or even Tidal Gardens or something. But what do you see out of your store that tends to be popular?
We got a few people that are into the higher end stuff, but most of the people are into the everyday run-of-the-mill stuff.
Like the bread and butter?
Yeah. I figured you guys down there were more into the hard corals and all that good stuff.
We are, but it's a niche. You know what I mean? It's the audience is like, even when I do my sales, like I just did one recently and the Zoas just blew out everything else. Yeah, I mean, and I did sell some higher end SPS and stuff, but it was, you know, and this isn't necessarily a negative or anything to bash on, but we would sell, you know, out of 10 high end, maybe 4 of them were popular, and it still only had maybe 2 or 3 people bidding on it. Where if I threw Zoas up, especially higher end Zoas, it was like 10 to 15 people bidding on the same thing. So, yeah, Idaho, we've got popular corals, but it's definitely a niche toward the soft, I would say, and LPS.
Just a lot bigger target area with them.
Yeah, they're easier to keep, and you've got a little bit of everything in here. That pink Ghani looks good in candy. And you know what, I skipped over them. I really need to go back to these. Tell me about these, like, Trichophilia. You've had them for a minute.
We got some of them in yesterday, and we've had the other ones here for about 3 weeks. They're nice.
I absolutely love these meat
They're
corals,
one of my favorite corals.
donut corals, and Trichophilia, Lobophilia, all of these. Yeah, I was telling you earlier, my system's a little bit sensitive to them because it's a little too clean sometimes, and that kind of kills me because, to be honest with you, these are like my favorite. So, and you had a pretty good competitive pricing on them too. I don't know if that's something you want to share, but you had like 150, 200 bucks for these things.
Yep, 150 for you. They're like 300, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you got, you know, I got to pay my fair share too, apparently. So. But I mean, that's amazing pricing. When I got mine, I mean, it was probably when I first got it about the size of this guy right here, and I think his retail price was like $300 or $400, and he wasn't really much different looking than what you have here. So that's pretty incredible.
The hard part is they're like virtually impossible to get nowadays with Indonesia being shut down as long as they were.
Yeah, Indonesia. So how did that affect your business with Indonesia? Because obviously you were here long before that shut down.
It made it tough getting some of the nicer, cheaper stuff. Because then most of the stuff came out of Australia, and even the cheap stuff out of Australia is still not cheap. So
yeah,
it costs a lot more to get stuff out of there.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. So, but it's open again, and hopefully it stays open for a while.
We can get over this end of the world.
I know, and that's obviously something else that's probably affected your store a little bit too. But it's kind of, I feel like reefing is a little bit different than your typical small business because people are in their houses, and winter tends to be the strong side of the year for coral and reefing and all that because people are stuck in their homes looking at their tank, wishing it looked better. And I would imagine perhaps the pandemic with COVID-19 is similar to that.
It's definitely brought a lot of more people in that on a more regular basis. I love this one right here.
Oh yeah, that like atomic green.
That thing is unreal.
Yeah, that thing is really nice. So, and you got a lot of torches and hammers and things going on as well, which is, I actually really like this thing right there.
The pink eyes right there.
Yeah. He's in the camera he's coming out a little bit more yellow, but in person he's got a really nice, almost like powder puff pink mouth, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And these are ones too that sometimes people pretend to not be interested in. These like watermelons or eagle eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, if you want to talk bread and butter that's worth it, those right there. I don't care how high end your tank is. You probably should have some of those growing.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are sweet. I mean, there's rainbow zoas that don't even have as much color as a simple eagle eye has. So, and you got a good collection of zoas growing here too. Now, do you, as a coral shop, are you just selling these as like big colonies, or do you ever find yourself actually propagating these and breaking them down and all of
We
that?
frag them up and sell them.
Got your rock flowers.
And the things.
Yeah, and those seem to sell pretty well for you.
Oh yeah.
I like these rock flowers. This is what I need to do with mine, to set them up in a basket like that. The blue and red one's pretty cool. Look at that one, hon. Oh, right over here. We're a fan of the rock flowers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those anemones are unreal.
Oh yeah, you got to get the bubble tips in here. Bubble tips are a great addition to any reef. I sometimes hate them though, because I've lost a couple corals to them. Mm-hmm. So even though I like them a ton, I still hold grudges. Yeah. And then we were looking at these Sunny D's would be the first guess, and then you got some.
Those are a Bower Banky.
They are Bower Bankies, yeah. Are these mushrooms, or you got rock flowers over on
Those
this road?
are the Yuma Recordias.
Okay. So you obviously have some really nice stuff, and kind of an impressive collection for such what you would assume to be kind of a smaller shop. And when I say smaller shop, there's obviously bigger shops, but
Yeah.
you know, most of these little reef shops tend to be a quarter of the size of this. So you're selling dry goods. You're doing a lot of Red Sea, it looks like. Probably one of your better sellers,
Yep.
the Red Sea equipment. And then as far as fish, I mean, let's jump over to these guys. You have a ton of clowns.
Yep.
And you have a lot of higher end, really nice looking clowns.
Yep. Black storms, mocha storms, gold lightnings, gold X lightnings.
And you sell these pretty well up here, huh?
Yeah.
Sea apple there. How long have you had him for?
Sea Apple, he's been here for about 2 months.
That's really good, especially for a storefront.
Yeah, he will open up, get big old plumes. And
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you guys seen anyone else have those before.
everybody's
Well, I'll give a
scared
call
to
out.
carry
To,
him.
yeah, they tend to not do well. They'll die, and then they have the potential of, well, when they die, rotting right away, and then melt into your tank and cause ammonia issues and things like that. But it's not. I'll be honest. You got me wanting to try it
Probably should.
just because I'm seeing it. I know you don't have the experience until you do it. You know.
I'll have to look at pictures of them.
Well, where we have like 60 plus fish in our system, I'm pretty sure he'd get well fed. Hopefully. You say that crossing your fingers. And this is one of the fish that actually got me interested into saltwater.
Hamster grouper?
Yeah, and it's one of those fish I'll probably never keep. Unfortunately. Have you seen these? Mm-hmm. They get really big. I just love those thick necks. All right, what kind of angel do you have up here?
That is a potter's angel.
That is. Look at this guy. You can actually see his pattern there in the camera. Look how pretty. So, yeah, it's kind of nice to see this because not every fish store, has, especially the black. You can just see the contrasting colors that you have going on in your fish. Your yellow tangs, I mean, from back here, they just pop. There's no missing those. But now the filtration in like a reef shop is going to be different than someone's standard home, I would assume. But you were telling me that you're pretty basic and old
Yeah,
school.
we just have big sumps with Chato and rock and
You do run Chato.
marine pure blocks.
Uh-huh.
We got
Get your
GMO
biological-
reactors and skimmers. That's about it.
Wow.
And we got the mad scientist, John.
You know what's also kind of interesting and kind of cool at the same time is the fact that even though they're just fish systems, well, I guess you do have coral in your fish systems. You got these leathers and things. But you've got, are these Gen 4s?
Yes.
Yeah, you got the Gen 4. Gen 4 or just Gen 4 Pro?
Gen
Yeah, Gen 4s. And that's something that you don't see in a lot of reef shops either. They'd be throwing like T5s or something.
All the fish.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible to be honest with you. So, but I know you guys stay busy up here. We're always hearing about Corals4Cheap down in Pocatello and whatnot. You even actually got your Neptune stuff going too. You hooked me up with Neptune equipment pretty dang well.
You like the stuff?
I love this stuff. In fact, you always hear online, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud because it'll probably spur like bad habits, but don't chase numbers. After getting the Trident, that's all I do all day long is chase numbers. And it's because the Trident has made it like so easily accessible to do that safely without causing stress to your tank. So yeah, I absolutely love it. But the Neptune stuff, do you sell this stuff pretty well up here, or is it kind of more of the niche type hobbyist equipment? Do you really? That's cool to hear. You get your frozen food and everything.
This is my domain.
This is, and it's a really nice domain to have. Not everyone is lucky enough to have something like this. So, well, thank you, Josh, so much. Oh, you know what? Well, we'll see if we'll keep that in there. Someone's going to say, yeah, hand sanitizer after this. You know, we'll just dip our hands in some salt water. That'll do it.
My wife and I had a lot of fun up at Corals4Cheap with Josh Cook, and we really appreciated the invitation to go up and check out what he has available, and loved seeing how he likes to run his storefront. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and let us know what those are, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. We would like to invite everyone to go and check out Corals4Cheap in Meridian and support Josh Cook and his business. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notified of future videos, and leave a comment. We appreciate the support, and as always, happy reefing from Aquatic Oasis.